Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
Men, are you having testosterone issues? Don't risk your health at a pop-up low-T clinic. Tennessee Valley Urology offers safe, medically supervised treatment with real results. And they're expanding. Their new Ooltewah location opens this fall. tnvalleyurology.com. Book your appointment today.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Welcome into The Drive here on a Friday afternoon. Hope everyone out there is ready for a big weekend. We've got a pretty interesting show today. Myself, Jim Gum, Jacob's here. Andy is not. He'll be here on Monday.
You know how that commercial always plays that says, "I'm Andy Morris here with The Drive." We need to say, "I'm Andy Morris, not here right now. We'll get back to you later." But my co-host on The Drive,
they're here every day.
Who are not named, will be here. Nah, just giving Andy a hard time. It's wrestling season. I get it. I'm about to have to go on a hiatus for baseball season.
I get it. Look, we've got a lot of things we're going to get into today. We will talk about the Indiana-Oregon game. That game tonight, 7:30 kick. By the way, you can hear that game right here on ESPN Cleveland. Our broadcast begins at 7 o'clock. On Mix, by the way, Cleveland versus Ooltewah, 6 o'clock doubleheader there, boys and girls. That is what we're carrying on Mix and ESPN. And then, of course, tomorrow, the Vols and the Gators hook up in basketball. We'll get into that. We've got a lot of things we're going to get into. We got the NFL wild card is going on starting tomorrow. And we never talk about college basketball. I just mentioned the Vols and Gators. There are 6 undefeated basketball teams still in college basketball. We're also going to talk about Rob Manfred, some of his crazy ideas as far as an in-season tournament, a la what the NBA does. I'm like, good Lord. And then even discussing a split schedule, which I think that would be absurd as well. But we're going to begin this show with Nostradamus, also known as Jacob Mason. Yesterday, late in the show, we made our predictions. I think I said 24-17. I picked Miami to win 24-17. You picked it 31-28. Final score, 31-27. So I bow to you, the all-seer here that runs and produces this show. What a game, though.
Hey, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
No, that was such a game. And, you know, I watched it and just thought, you know, outside of the first round of this playoffs, genuinely, this playoff has delivered some of the most exciting football that I've watched in quite some time.
Well, Ole Miss has been a part of 2 of the better games. I mean, the Georgia-Ole Miss game, obviously, unfortunately for you, Ole Miss came out on top of that one. And yesterday, that fourth quarter, man, it was everything you want in a college football game. It was going back and forth, big plays, just pretty much everything you want. And we talk about this all the time. Owning the line of scrimmage, which I think Ole Miss had a significant advantage there, but man, just dumb plays. And Miami allowed Ole Miss to hang around, but man, third down conversions. How many third downs did Miami convert there? It seemed like it didn't matter if it was third and long, third and short. They would convert each and every time. Ole Miss only converted 2 of 10 the entire game. Had that been a little bit more, if that had been a more even stat as far as third down conversion, Ole Miss wins that football game. But man, how clutch! I know that Carson Beck, he had his ups and downs there at University of Georgia, but man, when he had to come through yesterday, he came through. with some big throws. And, of course, there with, 18 seconds to go when he runs it in, there was nobody there. And then, lo and behold, Ole Miss gets the ball, and they get, 2 chunk plays, and they're throwing a ball in the end zone. And I'm going to say this, Jacob, that was not a Hail Mary. It was too short to be considered a Hail Mary. That was a pass play, a designed pass play. And I'm sorry, but that was pass interference.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
should have called pass interference. We don't know that Ole Miss connects on if they get an untimed down. They might not. But there should have been an untimed down.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it was pass interference for sure. I am interested to talk about, like, I really thought that Miami would try to run the ball a little bit more. Like, they had success there, and really, honestly, they were bigger up front. They should have been dominant in the A-gap. They should have tried to be A-gap killers and just continue to go downhill and downhill. But one thing that I thought was interesting, I wonder how many people said, man, this Ole Miss kicker, he's automatic. And then doink.
I know.
And then
One doink went through. The other doink obviously did not. But, man, what a powerful leg he's got. Was he a senior or has he got some more eligibility? Because if I'm him, I enter the portal, and I see who's going to pay me the most money. I'm serious.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I said this to somebody the other day. I know kickers are essential, right? I get it.
They're so overlooked, but yes, they are essential.
They're essential. Special teams is a huge part of football. But as a football fan, if I never see my kicker on the field outside of
Extra points,
I would be okay, because they win you games. They lose you games, and they cause your team to lose games. So, you look at that Georgia game against Ole Miss, that's kind of what it came down to. It came down to a kick, and I know we talked about the safety and all of that, but kickers, to me, they're essential, and you need them. I get it. But if I could never see one on the field outside of an extra point, I would be fine.
Chris Canty, you ever listen to him in the morning on Unsportsmanlike? He says they're not athletes. They're subhumans. He talks about kickers. I'm a big believer in special teams. I'm a big believer you got to have a great kicker. If you got a really good punter that can pin the opponent down inside the 10-yard line, I think it's so overlooked. How many games are decided by, especially in the NFL, more so in the NFL than in this college football, how many games are decided by a field goal?
Yeah.
A ton. And, boy, NFL kickers, God, they're so good.
Yeah.
They are so good. Now, that being said, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I've talked about this on the show before, are the hash marks in college football and how wide they are. Mm-hmm. The NFL hash marks are the same width as the uprights, and why college football does not make that change is beyond me. But you've got a more severe angle a lot of times. Now, sometimes the ball is centered up in the middle of the field, and it's not an issue at all. But when the ball is on the hash and you've got to kick it at a little bit of a funky angle, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think why it's so wide is because they want to give teams more options to get things going on the power side,
the wide side of the field,
that kind of stuff. And in the NFL, it's a little bit shorter because they want it to be not as much of an advantage when players are on the field. But you're right, from a kicking standpoint, it's definitely something that is different. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, a Miami player got ejected in the fourth quarter, which means he's sitting out the first half of the game. We talked about that yesterday on the show.
They can petition. They can petition to have that lifted. Whether they will or whether, even if they do, it might not get lifted. I mean, I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought, well, here it is, fourth quarter. He gets ejected. He's out for the first half against either Indiana or Oregon, and that's a big thing. And also Miami. This will be the fourth time that they get to play a national championship game on their home field. They did it 3 times in the Orange Bowl. They beat Nebraska twice. They beat Oklahoma once. And now that here they are in 2026, they're going to play the national championship game in their home stadium. Now, that being said, I don't believe that Hard Rock Stadium is the home field advantage that the Orange Bowl was. The Orange Bowl, the fans were right on top of them.
Yeah.
And the noise was deafening. Like 80,000 fans, and there was a lot of metal in that stadium, so it reverberated. more so than this newer Hard Rock Stadium does. But, man, I'm telling you, I believe that this is going to be a huge advantage for the Hurricanes. I do. I know that, Indiana, Oregon are going to get their allotment of tickets. At the end of the day, the Miami players, they're sleeping in their own beds.
Yeah, I think Indiana might be the only team that could make it a 60-40. I think and I'm not saying that's even likely. I'm just saying I think Indiana, because of how starved that, and really Oregon's in the same position though. It's the only problem is they're halfway across the country.
And here's the one thing: Miami's got a head start on tickets, on a secondary ticket. They're already gobbling them up. Oregon and Indiana fans are like, well, I don't know, hopefully we'll be there. But they've got a 24-hour head start. Miami fans do. They're in Miami.
Well, if you're like me, Jim, when I went to the national championship game, I bought them before it even started.
So did you have a plan B?
I was just going to sell them.
Okay.
I just figured, I looked at all the fan bases, and I knew how hungry all of them except Bama would be to get a hold of those tickets, and I thought to myself, if we don't make it, I sell them. And then I waited to book my hotel ticket until we were up 30 points on Michigan at half.
Gotcha.
When we went up at halftime, I looked at my wife and I said, go ahead and start booking that hotel. And so we booked it, and then when Michigan kind of came out at the very beginning of the game or second half and kind of showing some life, I was like, oh, Lord, I hope I didn't just jinx this.
Jinx myself.
But then Georgia was in control. But, man, what a game. And, honestly, I'm so excited for tonight's game as well. A rematch game, a game that I feel like Oregon can win. I think it's a game that they have a chance of winning. The problem is I just think Indiana is rolling in the right direction, and I think they've got a good thing going for them. They've got a lot of experience. Kirk Sidney, they're really confident. I don't know if you've heard this. He's looking at another contract extension already after.
He may be the highest paid coach in college football by the end of this. By the end of January.
That's just X talk, but I say X talk, Twitter talk.
Twitter, yeah, we all know what that means now.
But just Twitter talk. I saw 12.5 as a possibility, which would make him right up there with Kirby Smart and the others.
Okay, I got to ask you this. You being the Georgia guy that you are, Carson Beck, you've had, you said, I don't trust him. Well, he's 1-3 now.
Yeah.
And he played really well yesterday. He did. Your thoughts about Carson Beck?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I think I don't agree with the narrative that Kurt Herbstreit and them ran with last night, that he was in woe. At the end of the day, the guy was 24-3 as a starter at the University of Georgia, got hurt in the SEC championship game, disappeared, didn't help prep for the bowl game, was gone, was looking for the draft, realized he got a bad draft grade, and then hopped in the portal. Again, great success at Georgia. He's a great quarterback. He honestly, probably out of the quarterbacks, NFL raw talent-wise, he's got all the measurables. I've just seen him in those big games, and normally he does throw a few. And so far, he hasn't. And he may go on a historic run, and good for him. He has successfully kept the SEC out of 3 straight national championships.
That's a dig right there if I ever heard one. Okay, I tell you what, we're going to get into the NFL here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we do, we're going to talk a little NFL wild card. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. We'll be back after this.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Horses. You can't start the new year in that old nag.
This is John Wayne.
John Davis at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. I'll give you up to $7,000 over Kelly Blue Book market value for your old workhorse and send you home in a shiny new steed, even if you owe thousands more than that old gal is worth. We're selling new Kias at prices so low, it's likely to cause a stampede. Is your credit headed south? That's okay. Kia Cleveland has lenders that will say yes to you and yes to your situation. You can be approved in minutes. So trot your old horse in any condition and get up to $7,000 over Kelly Blue Book market value. Come see me, John Davis, during our New Year's sales drive at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, Kia. Negative trade equity finance and new loan subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, but only for a limited time. Pick 2 full-sized favorites for just $6.99. Bag yours before they're gone. Choose from the charbroiled double cheeseburger, hot ham and cheese, spicy chicken sandwich, and our saucy ham-breaded chicken tender wraps. You've got it in the bag. The Original Bag. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, just $6.99. Only at Hardee's. Get the best deals on the Hardee's app. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Tax not included. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
When an emergency happens, every second counts. That is why Park Ridge Health System is working to bring a new, high-quality, 24/7 freestanding emergency room right here to Cleveland. This ER will expand access for families in Cleveland and Bradley County, and it will give Polk County something it doesn't have today: dependable, around-the-clock emergency care. Together, we can make it happen. Visit ParkRidgeClevelandER.com to learn more and add your voice in support. That's ParkRidgeClevelandER.com.
The College National Championship Game and the Super Bowl are the 2 most expensive games to advertise on every year. Well, Cleveland Business Services and ESPN Cleveland 1013 is giving your business a chance to win free radio ads in both games, along with an additional ad package, a social media takeover, plus an interview on the drive. Enter today and score big for your business with ESPN Cleveland 1013 and Cleveland Business Services. Enter now on the ESPN Cleveland socials and at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
No more varicose or spider veins. No more tired, achy, restless legs. No more restless nights. Start your journey to a better you with help from Milligan Vein. Their board-certified physicians have treated thousands of patients using the latest technologies to restore healthy, great-looking legs. There's little or no downtime, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Milligan Vein, improving the quality of your life. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. John Milligan today at 423-961-5682.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Mayfield chocolate milk is a great recovery drink for athletes or anyone who exercises. Rich in calcium and vitamin D, get Mayfield's famous chocolate milk at the various locations around here in Cleveland, Polk County, McMinn County. They're everywhere. Find out more at mayfielddairy.com. And I had chocolate milk just last night.
Hey, for sure. Hey, want to give Wyatt a shout out. Said the Falcons would have been a playoff team if they had a field goal kicker on our Facebook page. And you know what? I can't disagree with them. The Falcons have been looking. And I think because of how close games are, like you said, in the NFL.
Especially the NFL, yeah.
We talked this, like, you know, they're essential. In college football, I would just almost wish my team just – that we had a good one. I know you missed a big one in the Sugar – was it the Sugar Bowl?
Sugar Bowl against Ole Miss, yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. I hate it.
Well, I mean, obviously, special teams are a big part. These days, the NFL, the kickers these days in the NFL are unbelievable. Every one of them can hit 60-yarders. I mean, they can. Just about, I'm saying everyone, just about every kicker can make a 60-yard field goal. Just 10, 15 years ago, that would have been no way. Yeah. You know, or maybe maybe one or two guys could. But now it's unbelievable how strong these kickers' legs are. And the accuracy, especially in the NFL, the accuracy of the NFL is beyond ridiculous. All right, speaking of the NFL, let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow in the National Football League. We've got 2 games tomorrow. We've got one on Fox, begins at 4:30, by the way, so from noon until 4:30. Hello, there's nothing. Should be college, but we talked about that yesterday. And then at 8 o'clock on Amazon Prime. Now, do you have Amazon Prime?
I do.
Okay, so you got the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears on Amazon Prime. The Rams and Carolina tomorrow, on Fox at 4:30. Matt Stafford versus Bryce Young. Listen, Bryce Young, we know the struggles he had when he first got to the NFL. And I know the record. I know they're sitting there at 8-9. But the fact of the matter is, they're in playoffs. Yeah. To me, everyone's 0-0. And the weird thing about the NFL is the fact that Carolina is a division champion, so they're hosting the Rams. The Rams are sitting there at 12-5, going on the road, going from the West Coast to the East Coast. There again, at least it's a 4:30 kick. It's not like a noon kick or anything, or a 1 o'clock kick. But you've got the Rams sitting there at 12-5 at Carolina, an 8-9 team. I think Carolina has a chance. I really believe that they've got a shot. And I think they have to play their A game, but I think they're capable.
They're starting to call old Bryce Young down there the Carolina Reaper.
He's did I see this in the last 3 years? He's had more fourth quarter comebacks than any quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, obviously he did something wrong in the first 3 quarters where they're behind. So you got to look at it from that perspective. But Bryce Young's playing a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes down to it, I think you've got Matthew Stafford, who is now a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a guy that is just tough as nails. But really, it comes down to me. Sean McVay is one of the best. It's weird to call him still, but he's still young.
I know.
He's one of the best young coaches in the NFL, and I got to listen to him at a coaching clinic one time.
McVay?
Yes.
Okay.
And watching him dissect film and talking about schemes and how he wants everything to look the same. He wants this motion to look like 4 other plays that they can run. His thought process and what he goes through in a game and what he does, he's just such a great mind. I like them in that game. And then in the next game, you've got the Packers and the Bears. There's no love lost there, is there?
Oh,
Lord.
It's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. And you got Caleb Williams. And listen, we know last year a lot of people were dogging this guy. He's really had a good year. He's had a really good year. They're the division champs. They're sitting there at 11-6. The Packers 9-7-1, and the Packers really struggled down the stretch.
Well, coaching matters, folks. Ben Johnson, one of the best offensive minds in the NFL at the time with the Lions.
And it really affected the Lions this year.
Yes, came over. And funny enough, he hasn't gotten to beat them yet. And I don't know if you've watched the Bears play the Lions this year. Him and Dan Campbell shake hands, and it's literally the briefest handshake you've ever seen, and they just walk off the field. But he's a great offensive mind, and he comes in. The Bear. I love that Caleb Williams texted the punter his first year and said, you're not going to see the field very often. And then the punter had more punting yards than he had passing yards.
Oh,
and
my
so,
gosh.
it just that year was a rough year. But then you bring in Ben Johnson, and then the front office who's willing to give Ben Johnson the keys and say, I'm going out and getting this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And they really revamped that team. And you look at it, they're sitting there at 11-6. And the Packers, we talked about this yesterday. I think the reason John Harbaugh is not taking any interviews this week is what if the Packers opens up?
Mm-hmm.
What if the Bills decide to go a different direction after Josh Allen not being able to get it done? What if they have a first-round exit?
Because they're not going to get rid of the quarterback.
No, and we've seen that it happen. The reason that Harbaugh lost his job is because they weren't getting rid of their quarterback either.
Right.
And so you look at Josh Allen. He's a generational talent at quarterback, but in every situation they've given him a Stephon Diggs. Can't get it done. He leaves, then they give you James Cook.
Well, the defense can't get it done at Buffalo these days, and that's where they really had their I guess the biggest strength on that team for a couple years was that defense. they can't stop anyone. If Buffalo wins games, they got to outscore them. And you got Josh Allen, so you're capable of it. But, man, all it takes is a turnover here, a flub up here to where you got to settle for a field goal instead of a touchdown. But, no, I could see that. I could see the Buffalo job opening up. I could.
I think that's why John Harbaugh is waiting. But that leads us perfectly into Sunday's game. We've got the Bills and Jaguars.
That's the game right there. To me, that's the game I'm looking forward to most.
Again, coaching matters. You look at Liam Cohen comes in, first year has taken the Jaguars on a historic run, and I don't know if you've seen. I know you're not a big social media guy. Have you seen Trevor Lawrence and his grills? Do you know what grills are?
The fake teeth things, the diamond studded things.
So AI these days, people were posting pictures of him in grills, kind of being like a.
I mean, is it real or is it fake?
It was fake, but then his teammates, once they made the playoff, they contacted his wife, who then contacted Trevor's mom.
Oh, his mom, okay.
Who contacted his dentist back home.
Oh, Lord.
And they got his scans for his teeth, and now Trevor Lawrence is iced out and got some grills in his mouth. So I just thought that was a cool little story because, the Jaguars got close not too long ago. There was a couple years ago where
they were really good. And then last year they stunk it up, and now they're good, really good again. So they're like a yo-yo. I think they were really good in 2023. Really bad last year, and then again this year, super good again. Buffalo sitting there at 12-5, Jacksonville 13-4. Trevor Lawrence, how many times have we heard this generational quarterback, and that's all you heard about this kid coming out of high school, coming out of Clemson. He's a generational quarterback. He hasn't exactly lived up to it yet, but it's not too late. If he could do something in the postseason, get Jacksonville to a Super Bowl, then I think you can start making the claim that, he's one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Speaking of generational quarterbacks, let's head over to the 49ers and the Eagles with Brock Purdy.
Mr. Irrelevant.
But what a story, man, because really he's what really on the back end of my fantasy kind of kept me going. I picked him up off of, a lot of people left him because he was injured, and my quarterback situation wasn't great, and I swooped him up off the waiver wire, and there's a couple games where he would put up 30, 35 points.
The one thing about Purdy is he seems like he gets dinged up all the time, and he missed a significant time this year.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This is going to dive down the rabbit hole a little bit, but you know how I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, right? Have you noticed that the 49ers altogether have a lot of injuries?
They do seem to have some injuries on the defensive side too. Fred, what's his name?
They are
defensive player. He's out for the year.
They're normally riddled.
Fred Warner
riddled with them. Their practice facility is right next to this electrical plant, and they're saying that it could have effects to the body.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard about that.
There's a big conspiracy going on right now, and it's not helping that the 49ers are very injury prone. You look last year, their whole season was derailed by injuries. CMC can't stay healthy out there either.
Christian McCaffrey, in case people don't know who that is.
So you look at it, there's definitely a theory out there, but that's going to be a good game. The 49ers are normally always solid on defense. That Eagles' front defensive line is super solid.
When their defense is on, of course, a bunch of Georgia Bulldogs, when they're on, you only got to score 17 to 20 points, and you'll win the game because that defense just doesn't allow a lot of points.
Yeah.
When they're playing their A game, you can't score on that Eagle defense. They're just so solid.
Yeah, got good defensive line. Secondary struggles sometimes. I think Cooper DeJean is a stud, but they've got some holes there. So they definitely have taken a step back from where they were last year.
Yep.
We can just look at their
and
record.
It's hard to repeat in the NFL, man.
It is. Well, between free agency, new draft picks, and
age.
Yeah.
Age.
And just keep continuing to, what Patrick Mahomes and them were doing, being that competitive every year and looking at a three-peat, was wild. But, that's going to be a really good game. I'm excited for that one. That's one that piques my interest just because there's a lot of notable players from college football.
And Jalen Hurts, of course, maybe the most underappreciated starting quarterback in the NFL. I know he doesn't put up the big numbers. All he does is help his team win.
Yeah.
He doesn't make he doesn't make any mistakes, but he doesn't make the big mistake at the key time. He usually comes through more often than not. But there again, playoffs are going to be tough again this year. San Francisco at Philadelphia, that's a good one. 4:30 on Sunday. The night game or the primetime game on NBC, the Chargers at New England. You got Justin Herbert, who I really like this guy, and you got Drake May, who's, I guess, between him and Matt Stafford for the NFL most valuable player. I think it's going to come down to those two guys.
Yeah, Drake May this season, 4,394 yards, was 354 for 492, 31 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. Great year.
Yeah.
I know it was a kind of a weather game, but it blows my mind that this New England team lost to my Raiders. Like one of their 3 losses was one of our 3 wins.
There again, in the NFL, man, anyone's capable of beating anybody. There's so much parity in the NFL, and a lot of people around here aren't really into the NFL as much as probably I am. I watch the NFL. I watch college football. The difference is night and day as far as parity. The best teams in the NFL can get beat by the worst team in the NFL. All you got to do is just not come ready to play. And they'll beat you because they're that close to each other. I mean, all right. Then on Monday night, you got Houston at Pittsburgh. I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked the Steelers made the postseason this year. I thought they looked like a below-average team back in October.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden they turned it on like they do every year.
Speaking of the Steelers, Ricky Talent, Mr. RC, does the Bradley broadcast. He commented on here and said, "Go Steelers, here we go. DK is back, baby."
That's true. DK Metcalf, who was suspended the last 2 regular season games, and everyone thought that would haunt the Steelers when they played the Ravens. Obviously, he had nothing to do with the Ravens missing a chip shot field goal to win the game on last week. But they're here are the Steelers, man.
Here's the thing. I know he threw hands with somebody in the stands, but between him and Saquon sitting out in fantasy, they cost me a championship. So I would like to throw hands with DK personally because I lost one of my top wide receivers, and then my running back sat out the last week of the season, and I lost by 10 points.
So you got C.J. Stroud with the Houston, I almost said the Oilers and then the Gamblers. Houston Texans, my USFL almost came out of me, and my old Houston Oilers almost came out too, against Aaron Rodgers. Here's Aaron Rodgers in his early 40s, is still getting it done, man. I think the Steelers have got a real shot to win this game, especially if the weather is cold, because C.J. Stroud is used to playing in ideal conditions in Houston.
Yeah, I know this is incredibly unlikely, but we live in a world where Aaron Rodgers could face the Green Bay Packers in the NFL or in the Super Bowl. I know it's very, very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
But it could happen.
So you're saying there's a chance.
They're saying there's a chance.
That would be I'm not going to say this. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see. Do you have who you want to see in the Super Bowl? I know I want Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
I want Buffalo to win it.
I want Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, but I definitely want them to make it.
Like, Josh Allen is just such a likable guy. Like, he's such a likable guy. Like, you watch him on all these interviews. He's funny. He's just a good – and what a story. Like, coming from a nowhere college, coming into the NFL, being as dominant as he's been, getting so close, and then Patrick Mahomes is not here.
Yep.
You're not going to have to see him to get into the Super Bowl. If there's a year to do it,
this is the year.
This is the year, and I know that they.
But they've got to play a ton of road games to do this, man.
I know, and I know they don't have a true one wide receiver. I know that they don't have a super great defense, but in every game that James Cook has a big game, they're normally in it and they win it.
What about NFC? Do you have any particular team out there that you really want to see make it? I'm probably going to lean towards Chicago. I'd like to see a rookie coach get it done, and I'd like to see the Bears get back to the Super Bowl. They've only been the one time in 1985. I think the Bears and the Buffalo Bills, that would be a fun. Obviously, I was rooting for Detroit all year because Detroit's never made Super Bowl. Chicago's only made it once, and they've been pretty much doormats for the better part of 20-plus years. So I would like to see the Chicago Bears. I would have said the Rams, but the Rams won it just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want San Francisco, don't want Philadelphia. I wouldn't mind Seattle. I wouldn't mind them getting it.
Yeah, I like Seattle. I think they've had a great year. Speaking of fantasy, Jason is who carried me throughout the year. Him and McBride at tight end. But if I had to pick, it would probably be the Rams. Like I think I would like to watch.
Because it's Stafford. You're a Stafford, Georgia guy. I get that.
I'd like to watch Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen go at it. I think that would be cool. But really, ultimately, I would like to see the Bills win it all. Heck, I'll throw RC a bone with the Steelers being in the Super Bowl, like
with Aaron Rodgers.
With Aaron Rodgers, that's kind of a cool story for him to go out on. He's a guy that has been in the league and been so influential in the league for so long. You know, I'm okay with that. And you look at Mike Tomlin was a field goal away from being fired. Could you imagine if he makes a historic run and then
that would be crazy?
Then we're sitting there, So it'll be interesting. I will say this: I will be interested to see what coaches are fired after this.
Out of that made the postseason.
Yes, after
that would be crazy
because of a man named John Harbaugh who's sitting on the table.
And by the way, we will do our picks at the end of the show. Let's go ahead and take our break. Hey, when we come back, I want to talk about some stuff that's going on in Major League Baseball. Manfred made some comments on a show in New York City yesterday that I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. We'll be back after this.
I'm out. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any two for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
When an emergency happens, every second counts. That is why Park Ridge Health System is working to bring a new, high-quality, 24/7 freestanding emergency room right here to Cleveland. This ER will expand access for families in Cleveland and Bradley County, and it will give Polk County something it doesn't have today: dependable, around-the-clock emergency care. Together, we can make it happen. Visit ParkRidgeClevelandER.com to learn more and add your voice in support. That's ParkRidgeClevelandER.com.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
The College National Championship Game and the Super Bowl are the two most expensive games to advertise on every year. Well, Cleveland Business Services and ESPN Cleveland 1013 is giving your business a chance to win free radio ads in both games, along with an additional ad package, a social media takeover, plus an interview on the drive. Enter today and score big for your business with ESPN Cleveland 1013 and Cleveland Business Services. Enter now on the ESPN Cleveland socials and at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
When the road gets tough, make sure your ride is ready. At Cleveland Tire Center on North Lee Highway, they keep you rolling with the best brands, expert installation, and prices that fit every budget. Whether you need new tires, a quick rotation, or a full alignment, their certified team delivers fast, friendly service you can trust. Stop in today and feel the difference that quality makes. Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned, dependable, and always ready to get you back on the road. Cleveland Tire Center, 4695 North Lee Highway, Cleveland, where the name says it all.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps? Dr. John Milligan at Milligan Vein offers office treatment that can make you look and feel better within a day. And your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com. Welcome.
Good baseball music there, and we're going to get into that here in just a second. Hey, Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one: medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. So solve this. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, had an interview on a station up in New York. I don't know if it was WFAN, but it's one of the sports stations up there. And he revealed that Major League Baseball had been held discussions around an in-season tournament resembling the NBA Cup, which I still don't know how that thing works. It's an in-season, middle-of-the-season tournament, as well as a split schedule. Do you understand what that means when I say split schedule? You have a first-half champion, have the All-Star break, and then a second-half champion. That is ridiculous. So I'm going to go back to 1981. This in Major League Baseball did this in 1981, and that's the reason, because there was a player strike. Here's what happened. Back then, you only had you had two divisions in each league. You had the National League West, National League East, American League West, American League East. In the National League, you had two teams made the postseason. You had the Montreal Expos and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Expos won the first half. The Phillies won the second half. The Expos beat the Phillies in that playoff game. If you want to talk about that, in the National League West, you have the Dodgers and Astros. They played each other. The Dodgers beat the Astros, and they went on to win the World Series that year. In the American League, you had the Brewers and the Yankees, and in the West, you had the A's and the Royals. They played each other. Here's the kicker. The team with the best overall record in the National League East that year, the St. Louis Cardinals, did not make the playoffs because they didn't win the first half. They didn't win the second half. They did not qualify. In the National League West, an even more egregious thing, the Cincinnati Reds, my team, had not only the best record in all of in the National League Western Division for the entire season, they had the best record in all of Major League Baseball for the entire year. They did not qualify for the postseason. That's ridiculous. If they're talking about doing this now this was the result of a strike, so this was haphazardly done. They said, we're going to do the first half. When we resume baseball, we're going to do a second half. Each half, division will play each other in that division, and then they'll play the NLCS, ALCS, and play for the World Series. It was a complete disaster. A complete disaster.
Listen, Jim, Rob Manfred just wants the Mets to actually have a chance to hang a banner up in their stadium. They could, if you give them half a season, they might be able to do something and win a little something.
What about the in-season tournament?
Okay. Here's the thing. Scrap all that.
Thank you.
Just scrap all that. I fixed it in 30 seconds. This is what you do. The World Baseball Classic doesn't need to be every 4 years. We do it every 2. Every 2 years, All-Star break, that time off, we have some kind of World Baseball Classic. I don't know. We do something. We take a little bit bigger break. Have that go on. On the year that it's not happening, let's do like a AAA, the best of minor leagues, and they do something similar. So every other year, you're having a World Baseball Classic. One's with the professionals, one's with the minor leagues.
Okay. I could do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like every 2
and that would give some notoriety to some of these AAA guys that we don't know until they come up.
To some of the younger guys. Don't give me some in-season term. Like that makes it. We play 162 games.
Well, he's talking about doing going back from 162. If they were to do this in-season tournament, that would count towards 162. So,
no,
I'm sorry.
Because
we don't
time
need
out.
this.
You do an in-season tournament, right? Like one team.
What's the point of it, though?
One team's going to play more games than the other.
Exactly. And what's the point of it? What do you get, a trophy?
Yeah, dumb.
I mean, no.
Dumb.
I know they get a trophy at the end of the World Series, but that's a trophy that's very much desirable, and it's the goal of every Major League franchise is to win a World Series trophy. This in-season tournament thing, I'm like,
I've never wanted to buy a, Dave Portnoy sold the Roger Goodell with the nose.
The nose, big red nose.
Give one to Rob Manfred and go ahead and put it on him. That is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, I would love to have heard Andy comment about this because he's not a Rob Manfred fan at all.
I don't think most people are.
What's your opinion about Roger Goodell? I know a lot of people don't like him. I'm okay with him. Manfred he rubs me the wrong way. Goodell does not bother me as much as he does a lot of other people.
No, and I even feel like Goodell kind of leans into the villain role.
I think he does too.
Especially during the draft, like that big old grin that comes across his face.
I mean, he gets booed mercilessly.
Yeah, I can't imagine having the pressure of having to be that guy. You're not going to make everybody happy, and good leaders know that.
By the way, he makes $27 million.
Okay, never mind. I'm good. Good. Sign me up.
Sign me up.
You can hate me.
You can boo me all day long.
You can hate
all
me.
the way to the bank.
$27 million.
Yeah, there are quarterbacks making more than him, but not a whole lot more than that. He's a very rich man. And it's not like his career is over with in 10 years. He's been commissioner, my gosh, 20 years now? God. At least. Now, obviously, he wasn't making $20-something million, 20 years ago. He's gotten raises through the years, but it must be, listen, the NFL is far and away, it's not close, it's far and away the most successful professional sport we have in this country.
Who signs off on his raises, himself?
He works for the owners. Listen, he works for billionaires, okay? Obviously, every NFL owner makes way more than Roger Goodell. Because he's just their piece. Basically, he's their puppet. Goodell is the owner's puppet. Whatever the owners want, whatever the owners say, Roger Goodell he's the ultimate yes man. And I guess for that kind of salary, I'd be the ultimate yes man too. But I don't have as much problem with Goodell as I do Rob Manfred. And is it Bettman? He's the commissioner of the NHL. And then Silver is the commissioner of the NBA. I really don't pay as much attention to those two leagues as I do baseball and football. But Manfred drives me crazy. They've got to get someone better than him. I just don't like that guy for whatever reason. He just rubs me the wrong way. But the fact they're even having these discussions now, I think there's odds of this happening are very slim, very very slim. But man, I'm with you though. I love the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's great for Major League Baseball. And it's hard to believe. It's been 4 years. I thought it was it done every 4 years or every 2 years?
It's every 4.
Golly. Because I remember, didn't Shohei Ohtani strike out Harper as the last out in the last one they had?
I can't remember.
Japan won it because of Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But I bet you're probably right, though. He was with the Angels back then.
Yeah, and, the American team is really taking it a little bit more serious this year. Paul Skeens is coming on board. The pitching staff they're trying to load up is coming on board. I think America's going to make a better push. I still think Japan's probably the favorite in this.
It is amazing how good some of these players that are coming over from these Asian leagues. You got most of them are coming from Japan, but you got a few that's coming over from the South Korea. There's some good baseball played over there. There really is.
Well, to answer your question about the playoffs, I think it's a can of corn. It's a no. That's an easy one for me. The asking me whether we would do or not. Speaking of can of corn, do you know where that comes from?
Yes, I do. From the old general store.
I thought I would stump
the old general store. The cans were stacked very high. They had a stick. They'd knock it down and they'd catch it just like a can of corn.
Jim Gum, the Encyclopedia of Sports Information.
Well, that's something I don't remember how long. I've known that for a while now. I'm one of these people. I love to know the origin of some of the old sayings because it's funny. All right, here's one. You can't. What was it? You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's supposed to be you can't eat your cake and have it too. They've turned it around. It's supposed to be you can't eat your cake and have it too. But some people say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, yeah, you can. If you have your cake, you can eat it, but you can't it's supposed to be the other way around. You can't eat your cake and have it too. They've got it mixed up.
I've always wondered why that didn't make sense, and now you've clarified that.
Because they've turned around and nobody's ever corrected them on it.
Speaking of that, with the NCAA transfer portal, all these teams are trying to eat their cake and have it too.
This time yesterday, Damon Williams was like the villain up there in Seattle. Now everything's just hunky-dory because he's staying in Washington, and they're going to mend the fences and all that good stuff.
Well, guess what? DJ Lagway's commitment to Baylor got intercepted. He is still communicating with teams.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. So that's
I had not heard that one.
He is verbally committed.
The old verbal commitment.
But he's keeping his options open. Why commit?
I don't know.
Why commit? Like, is your agent saying it to draw more attention, to see if we can get a better offer? I don't know, man. And then I think a lot of this comes down to with Trinidad saying no. Now Ole Miss is a pretty attractive place to show up in too.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Trinidad Chambliss, the NCAA denied his. No, they're going to appeal. So now it's going to go in front of a judge in the state of Mississippi. So I pretty much know how this is going to come. Trinidad is going to be playing quarterback for Ole Miss 2026. You can just because the NCAA says no. NCAA said no to Pavia also.
Yeah.
What happened? It got in front of a judge here in the great state of Tennessee, and he said, "Sure, he can play." He has more power than whoever's running the NCAA. A judge does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. Trinidad Chambliss will be the starting quarterback at Ole Miss. September 1st. Down there in Oxford, Mississippi, you can just about count on it. All right, I'm going to do something. I love putting you on the spot right here.
Let's do it.
All right, there are 6 undefeated college basketball teams right now.
Oh, Lord.
Can you name 2?
No. I know Florida has a loss.
Mm-hmm. There's one SEC team that's undefeated.
No.
It's close. It's pretty close here.
I was about to say, is it the Vols? No, it's Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt.
The Vanderbilt Commodores 15-0. They look good. They beat Alabama the other night.
Yeah.
All right, here are the 6 undefeated teams. The number 1 ranked team in the country, Arizona. They're sitting there at 15-0. Number 2 ranked team in the country is Michigan, sitting there at 14-0. Number 3, another Big 12 team, Iowa State, 15-0. Here's the shocker of all shockers. The number 10 ranked team in the entire country, a team that's made it to the NCAA tournament. They've never won a single game in the history of the NCAA tournament. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, sitting there at 15-0. Nebraska, and you got Vanderbilt. They're ranked number 11. They're 15-0, and you got the poor old unranked Miami, Ohio Redhawks sitting there at 16-0 in the Mid-American Conference. They would have to go undefeated before they would be ranked. They're getting votes. They're also receiving votes. But isn't it funny how we're so focused on football? Have you watched the college basketball game this year?
I have, because
from start to finish.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, because Georgia's actually decent this year. Like they've made some steps forward. So I watched the Georgia Auburn game the other night. Went into overtime. Georgia had a 5-point lead with legitimately 5 seconds left in the game, and still found a way to go to overtime. So they ended up winning it.
By the way, did you see how Auburn got beat by Texas A&M the other night?
No.
Oh my gosh, controversy reigns in Auburn. So Auburn hits a shot at the buzzer. There was 0.6 seconds left on the clock. They inbound the pass. He catches it, turns and shoots it. It was right. I mean, you could not tell. It was fuzzy. At first, they counted the basket. After review, they said the ball was still in his hands when the clock hit all zeros. So they waved it off. But in all actuality, if you watch that play, when he catches it, they don't start the clock quick enough. So really, it probably should not have counted. But if you look at the replay, I don't know how they could have overturned it. They overturned it, and I'm like, you can't sit there and definitively say that ball was still in his hands because it was so blurry and fuzzy, you couldn't tell,
Yeah.
The officials literally had to get out there, putting their hands over their heads because people were throwing bottles and everything at them. It was typical college atmosphere there. But that was a big loss for Auburn when they thought they had won it, and it turned out they lose it. I'm talking about college basketball. I sat there around the fourth quarter. I flipped it to the split screen on my TV because Ohio State's playing Oregon out there in Eugene. I'm like, I'll go ahead and watch the football game and the basketball game simultaneously.
Hey, welcome back, YouTube TV. Shouts out.
Yes, Lord. By the way, there's some stuff going on, and I didn't have this printed off. Apparently, FanDuel and I guess the people that own FanDuel, they have the rights to 9 Major League Baseball teams that use FanDuel as far as their telecasts. The Atlanta Braves are one of them. That ain't happening in 2026. All 9 of these Major League franchises, they've got to find another provider. And between now and April 1st or whenever the season begins, that just came down like last night or I saw it first thing this morning. I'm like, man, because they filed bankruptcy. So apparently Bally's or the FanDuel, they're gone. So now we've got to find out who's going to be televising Atlanta Braves baseball in 2026.
No. Bally's not the person anymore. Oh no. $29 to watch the Braves. That's insane. I hope that it's something a little bit more reasonable. Let's just say that.
I just hope it's something that I get on my YouTube account.
Yeah.
I don't have to go the extra mile.
Bring back the Braves and TBS. Give me the good old days.
Those were the good old days. They really were. Listen, I grew up in a time where I would get home from work and I'd catch the Cubs. They'd be probably maybe third, fourth inning, pick it up, watch the rest of the Cubs game, eat dinner, and then the Braves come on TBS around 7:40, I think was their first pitch back then, and you'd watch the Braves. That's how the Braves became such a America's team, because people were watching them from coast to coast because they were the only nationally televised Major League franchise. Them and the Cubs, but the Cubs were because they were mostly afternoon games. A lot of people didn't get to home to see them. Everyone was home in prime time when the Braves were playing. Now, obviously, the Cubs televised some night games, and when they were on the road, they got a lot of night games too. But for the most part, the Braves were pretty much the team at night. The Cubs were the team in the afternoon, and that's why everyone started Braves fans from coast to coast. And that's why I still believe the Braves probably have one of the biggest fan bases in all Major League Baseball. I think the Yankees and the Dodgers probably have bigger, but for the size of Atlanta, they've got bigger fan base than the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros, and those cities are comparable as far as Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. TBS was a big part of why a lot of people across. I mean, anywhere you go, anywhere the Braves travel, you hear the tomahawk chop in that stadium.
Yep.
Because there are people that grew up watching them that are Braves fans because of it.
Do you have an all-time favorite Braves announcer?
Announcer?
Yeah.
No.
See, I love Pete Van Wieren. By the way, all those guys have passed away now.
Yeah.
Skip Carey, Don Sutton. Who else was there? John Sterling. He ended up going to the Yankees, though. He wasn't there as long. But really, the core was Pete Van Wieren, Skip Carey, and Don Sutton. Those are the three that come to my mind the most. But I loved them. They were great. And of course Harry Carey, which was Skip Carey's dad.
Speaking of Harry Carey, Andy has Harry Carey as the guy that does his ways finder, like it speaks when he speaks.
Is it AI?
Well, I don't know what he does, but he go turn left. Like it's so
my
funny.
God. Have you ever seen who was the guy on Saturday Night Live that did the Elf? Who was that? What was that actor's name?
That did Elf?
Yeah,
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. You ever seen Will Ferrell do a Harry Carey?
I have not.
Oh my God, it's awesome. I'll just say that it is awesome. All right, listen, we got about 4 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and give our fearless predictions for the games tonight, the college game, and the 6 pro football games that will be played Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So let's start with tonight, Indiana and Oregon. I'm going to let you go first.
I'm rooting for Oregon. My head tells me Indiana's probably going to win it. I'm going to go against my better judgment. Give me Oregon in the upset, a close game, 28-21.
28-21. I'm going to go Indiana, and I'm going to go Hoosiers 35-20.
Let me change
I
it.
think Indiana is going to win this game, and I think they're going to win it comfortably.
I'm gonna go 28-24.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to the NFL. Rams at Carolina.
Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I think the Rams win. And I think it's a good story there in Carolina, and I think the future's bright there in Carolina, but the Rams have got just a deeper team. The NFC West is deep. All three teams that made the playoffs, I could see all three advancing in the playoffs. Give me the Rams there. Green Bay at Chicago.
Ooh, I don't want Chicago to win. Personally, I know you like Caleb.
I do.
Williams.
I like Caleb Williams.
I'm not a fan.
I think the reason I like him is because so many other people have been so critical of him. I'm like, I want to defend this guy because I think he's pretty good. But
Yeah, not a fan. Also missed out on the Ben Johnson sweepstake as a Raiders fan. So I think. Also, I was a partial owner of the Packers for like 3 months.
That's right. You told me that.
So I think I'm going to go with my former ownership and go Packers.
I'm going to go Bears in that one. All right.
Sorry, I'm going to take the Bears to win. I want the Packers to win.
So you're on record. You're taking the Bears.
The Bears are winning,
and they are at home at Soldier Field.
Yeah, the Bears are winning, but I want the Packers to win.
All right, Buffalo at Jacksonville, 1 o'clock on CBS.
Whew.
We got to hurry this up, by the way.
That one's tough. I'll go Jags.
I'll go Buffalo.
Okay.
All right, San Francisco at Philly.
Give me the Philly Dogs.
All right, I'm going to go San Fran then. Chargers at New England.
I feel like this is the easiest one for me. Give me the Chargers.
I'm going New England. I'm going with the young guns. And finally, on Monday Night Football, Houston at Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take Houston. I think the corners are going to be big at play there.
I think the Texans, their defense is going to put too much pressure on Rodgers, so I'm going there as well. Hey, listen, I hope everyone out there has a good weekend. You've been listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. We'll see everybody Monday at 5.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland. Or visit donledford.com for details. Don Ledford, where we say yes. It's on-time traffic with Commander Chuck.
Well, good evening. As traffic starts to get heavier here on 153 across the Chickamauga Dam, pushing back into the Hickson area. It's crowded East Brainerd at Gun Barrel, stop and go right at Shallowford, right over the interstate. As traffic continues to build down 75 down into Catoosa County. Happy Hemp Pharmacy, they're now at their brand new location on Cummings Highway in Lookout Valley, right next to that Walmart. Stop by this weekend. Happy Hemp Pharmacy. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Flood watch through Saturday evening. We're going to have periods of heavy rain through the overnight into Saturday morning, with the rain tapering off Saturday afternoon. The high Saturday, 65 degrees. Cold air moving in behind. Sunday, 37 in the morning, a high of only 46, and north winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 26 on Monday morning, mostly sunny, 51 Monday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Your current Milligan Vein temperature is 64 degrees. MilliganVein.com.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, but only for a limited time. Pick 2 full-sized favorites for just $6.99. Bag yours before they're gone. Choose from the charbroiled double cheeseburger, hot ham and cheese, spicy chicken sandwich, and our saucy hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. You've got it in the bag. The Original Bag. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, just $6.99. Only at Hardee's. Get the best deals on the Hardee's app. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Tax not included. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Start your new year and drive and save up to 17% at Don Ledford GMC 2026 January New Year's Trade-Up Sales Event. Here's just one example of the tremendous savings you'll see during this 2026 GMC Kickoff Event. You can buy stock number D251090, a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab, SLT 4-wheel drive with a sticker price of $61,640 for only $50,977. That's $10,663 in savings, or over 17% off the most popular truck in the GMC lineup. Don Ledford carries the full line of GMC trucks and SUVs and a commercial vehicle department too. Plus, we have special finance and leasing options available as well, with first payments not due for 120 days. So come in today and save big at Don Ledford GMC. We're at 4595 North Lee Highway in Cleveland, or go to donledford.com for details and a trade assistance coupon. Don Ledford GMC, where we say yes. GMC, we are professional grade. The sale price includes all qualifying rebates and is plus tax, tag, and title and dealer fee of $649. Must take delivery by February 2nd, 2026.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineer Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
In football. Great job, Greg Barr. Great job, brother. You did get a kicker and a punter and a long snapper, though, so that is something, brother. Done lost 20-something players, only got 7 coming so far. Where's the money, Greg Barr? What are you selling, dude? What the hell is going on? And I know that butt-hurt fan from Georgia last week, Greg Brady, who jumped me, had a lot to say. I want to say to Georgia fans, all Georgia fans ain't bad. Quinn's a good dude. The First Lady of the SEC, Terry Quillen, I mean, can't get no better than her. Georgia got some great fans like Brad, but a lot of y'all butt hurt. I blame y'all. Nick Saban left 2 years ago. Where is Kirby Smart picking up the mantle and running with it like everybody said he would? His ass done turned into Dabo. We suck. Somebody wake up in this conference. What are we doing? We know how we got here. Now let's figure out how to get out of this damn situation. Somebody figure it out. Somebody figure it out. Because we done turned into a basketball conference. What a damn shame. Elvis has left the building.
Cat Daddy has arrived. Good afternoon.
Big Paul, I want you to just comment. I see you're real upset today all about the SEC. We ain't had a good year. Everybody knows that. But listen, I've been a South Carolina Gamecock fan all my life. I don't know what it's like to be an Alabama fan. We ain't won 8 or 9 championships, but I knew what it's like to lose, and I can accept it as a grown adult. And I'm not going to come on here and whine like Legend does. I mean, that's a grown man. Lord have mercy. I understand the passion. I appreciate it. But I told you on this show years ago when they started talking about the NIL, I felt like we already paid the players because they get a scholarship ride, they get fed to all the houses and all. But now it's all about the money. Show me the money. And now the corporations are going to get involved, not just the alumni. The corporations ain't going to pay. And Lord have mercy, I wouldn't be surprised if we see James Madison and Tulane play for the national championship the way they got things set up now. It's all about the money. And that's my take on what's going on today. It's all money, 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 money. And I win one for the Gipper, Be true to your school. I mean, all that is gone out the window. The day of innocence in college football has ended. I guess we're all just going to have to get used to it, just like the SEC going to have to get used to we got our butts beat this year. Other than that, I shall thank you, and I hope you get to feeling better, and God bless the United States.
Rick is up next in SoCal. Hey, Rick, welcome back.
Paul, thank you for taking my call. Man, it's great to hear your voice, although I've been listening to you for 2 years. So just had an assignment that I had to go to. So, but listen, I appreciate you taking me in here. But I want to make something very, very clear. The way we're making it sound is like all the talent is north of the Mason-Dixon line. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. Okay? There's more talent in one zip code in Florida than there is in Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. The problem is it's all going north. Look at every single solitary player that's big in this tournament or in this playoff. Eli Surratt, Charlie Becker, Fernando Mendoza, you would say those are the three best players on Indiana, right? Virginia, Tennessee, and Florida. Right. Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, two best players in college football, Georgia and Florida. Okay, 70% of Indiana's roster is below the Mason-Dixon line. If you had to make this a regional sport, there would never, ever be a winning team in the North. All the talent is in 5 states in the Southeast. The problem is they're going to the highest bidder. The Ohio States of the world are Los Angeles Dodgering and New York Yankeeing college football. And they're okay to do that. It's all legal. That's the way it is now. So the SEC just got to figure out something that way to keep the talent home. If we do, nobody, and I don't care what Elliott and the rest of these morons keep calling up and bloviating about, it ain't even close, guys. So quit worrying about how the SEC, the Southeast Conference, the SEC is just fine. Just keep the goddamn players home. You know, that's what it's all about. The talent is all over the South. Texas, around Dallas, Fort Worth, Tech area, there's more talent there than there is in all the 4 or 5 states up in the North. So it's not the North. It's not the Big Ten. It's all about the Southeast not keeping their players home. And it's all going to the highest bidder. That's how the NIL and the portal has absolutely ruined this sport. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I'm a Bama fan. I don't put much stock in emotion when it comes to 18 to 23-year-olds. But when I hear these guys calling up telling us how bad the Southeast is, that is just asinine. The talent is in the South. You're going to tell me Florida, if everybody had to stay in the state of Florida, we'd never win a national title anywhere but in Florida. So I think everybody needs to pump the brakes on this whole Big Ten's running college football. The only thing they're running is just the bigger paychecks to the players. Thanks for taking the call, Paul.
Yeah, thanks. It's also worth remembering, the SEC may be a conference, but it doesn't work as a unit when it comes to winning football games. So the SEC gets blamed, but Texas isn't concerned about Alabama, and Alabama isn't concerned about Georgia. They're all independent contractors here. Frank is up next in Ann Arbor. Good afternoon.
Yeah, greetings from the north. Hey, let me dumb it down for your audience because you all are struggling with NIL here. It confirms what we knew in the north all along. You all were cheating, paying players, and I don't have a problem with it because I'm a Michigan fan. We cheated and won a national championship. But they took your ability to get an edge by twisting the rules. And now other teams in the north, can pay their players. And you'll never see an Alabama team stacked with talent like Saban was able to put together because the kids won't stay and other teams will pay for it. This has brought pure parity to college football, and the Blue Bloods are struggling with this. You're going to have to adapt because you end up with Indiana's and Mississippi's making, deep in the playoffs. It's completely changed. The advantages the big boys had don't exist anymore. And teams like Clemson don't want to play at all, and you can see the results of that. So it confirms fully what we always knew. And it's going to be – the SEC is never going to dominate again.
Thank you, Frank. We will take a short break. We still have 45 minutes remaining here on a Friday afternoon.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Things at Zaxby's just got sensational because now you can experience their signature Asian sensation flavor 3 different ways. Get that sweet, tangy, citrusy, zesty fusion of flavor rolled up in a giant wrap, drizzled on a salad with an egg roll, of course, or tossed on their famous chicken fingers. Hey, flavor this good deserves its own private menu, or should I say, Zenu. The Asian sensation lineup, available only at Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce?
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Flood watch through Saturday evening. We're going to have periods of heavy rain through the overnight into Saturday morning, with the rain tapering off Saturday afternoon. The high Saturday, 65 degrees. Cold air moving in behind. Sunday, 37 in the morning, a high of only 46, and north winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 26 on Monday morning, mostly sunny, 51 Monday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Check your wallet. Empty? Check your bills. Overdue? Check your stress level. Maxed? Now, check into cash. Check into Cash is your one-stop money shop, and we've got everything you need. Payday loans and flex lines of credit options? Check. Quick in-store services like money orders and wire transfers? Check. Turn your unused gift cards into cash? Oh yeah, check. And yes, we cash checks. All kinds. Fast. Check that off your list. Visit checkintocash.com or check into a store to get started. The process is simple, quick, and designed to get you the help you need fast. If you've been approved, you can leave with cash in hand. We have locations in the Chattanooga area, including Cleveland and Athens. Check in, cash out, and get on with life. Check into Cash. We fund today to make a better tomorrow. Subject to state regulations, eligibility, credit check, underwriting, and approval. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply. Visit a store for details.
Have you seen what happens when a weed eater gets too close to vinyl siding? Ouch! Choose steel siding from Best Buy Metals, available in board and batten and lap siding options. Permanent siding from Best Buy Metals is custom manufactured to the half-inch for a perfect fit. Stop by a showroom or go to bestbuymetalroof.com to learn how you can protect your structure.
The College National Championship Game and the Super Bowl are the 2 most expensive games to advertise on every year. Well, Cleveland Business Services and ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is giving your business a chance to win free radio ads in both games, along with an additional ad package, a social media takeover, plus an interview on the drive. Enter today and score big for your business with ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and Cleveland Business Services. Enter now on the ESPN Cleveland socials and at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
On SEC Network and the ESPN app.
It's the Wild Card Weekend finale on Monday Night Football. Feeling that playoff pressure rising as Will Anderson Jr. and the Texans try to ride their dominating defense into the divisional round, while Aaron Rodgers is feeling the new chapter in his legacy, looking to lead the Steelers on a postseason run.
You just have to live to fight another day.
Feeling Texans-Steelers in the Monday Night Football Wild Card game. Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN. Also streaming on the ESPN app.
We're back, and Bash is up next in the Zoom. Hey, Bash.
Oh, Bash, brother, I am so glad you were here in the studio. I was so thinking yesterday, Paul, that since you were feeling bad and an ACC team beat an SEC team, I thought that David Hale was going to take your spot and be in the host instead of you. But thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Please, if you're ever not in studio, please pick anyone else but David Hale to fill your spot. But also, Paul, I was listening to Legends call earlier, and I got to say, if anyone needs some marijuana after their call, don't you think it's Legend today?
By the way, I'd asked Heather Dinich to fill in today, but anyway.
I would have much rather talked to Heather Dinich, absolutely. But I'm glad that, Paul, that even though last night's game didn't go the way we wanted, it was still the most exciting game we've seen all year. I got to say, though, I heard your conversation with Seth Emerson, and I got to say, Paul, that you were making an argument that you were going to say that if Indiana and Oregon wins, it would be worst-case scenario for SEC, but then you corrected yourself and said Miami would be. But, Paul, let me disagree with you there. If Miami wins the national championship, it doesn't mean the ACC is better than the SEC. For Christ's sake, Paul, the only reason James Madison is in the playoffs is because the ACC conference sucks.
I'll concede that point.
Thank you. So in my opinion, and I mean, we can disagree on some things, but I think if Miami wins, it's the best case scenario for the SEC if you give the Big Ten Conference 3 different champions and 3 back-to-back years. That would be an ultimate setback for the conference. But I will say this, Paul. I said this like